Here with Sudhi and Suchi.
Hello.
Brace yourselves.
No.
Brace
Well, I'm
yourselves.
blinded right now, Suchi.
Yeah.
Because of what you're wearing.
Yay! Chamko. Just call me Chamko Chameli.
Forever you want to remain in the spotlight.
Yes, of course, you can call me Chamko Chameli, but actually you should be calling me Suchi because this is Here It Here with Sudhi and...
Suchi. Sudhi with braces.
Sudhi with braces and Suchi. And this is the show where you get to hear a whole lot about Bollywood, about things that happened
But
before,
Suchi,
things that are going to happen, things that are happening right now.
मेरा हाथ खड़ा है, Suchi.
Yes.
Thank you. Suchi, but I have to say one thing. I
Yes.
read this beautiful little shade a couple of days back.
Oh, shit now. Oh.
You know, you do the worst impersonation of a shade. मेरी braces भी गिर गई
It's
नीचे.
not a person, it's an animal. So how can you impersonate a sher when it's... Tell me sher sunao.
Like a constipated haw.
Bolo.
Haw or one of those shades which actually comments on people by saying haw. ये कैसे किया तुमने haw?
Tell us your
Sher,
story.
sorry.
Yes.
You know, get that goddamn teacher expression of your face. Anyway, so the share goes something like this. It's a beautiful one and it's very relevant to the name of our show. You'll get it when I tell you the share. The share is वो दुनिया है जहाँ जुबान बंद करते थे मेरी. ये महशर है यहाँ सुननी पड़ेगी दास्तां मेरी. Hear it here, दास्तान.
Irshad Wasi.
तुम्हें पता भी था ये कौन है, but anyway. How are you doing,
Wow,
Suchi?
that's amazing.
I know.
Sudhi. What a wonderful share. मैं एक शेर सुनाऊं.
Here with Sudhi and Suchi.
ये है headlines on Here It Here with
Sudhi!
and Suchi. Well, headlines. I will tell you something now. It is about a snake. And it is about Salman Khan. A snake and Salman Khan. How is that even possible? Well, it was possible in Panvel when a snake dassoed Salman Khan. He just did and he dassoed him. Well, it was only a common crate, so nothing happened to Salman Khan. I don't know what happened to the
Must have been
snake.
bloody painful.
Yeah, for the snake.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then when Salman was asked what happened to the snake, what did he say? He said, no problem. Tiger zinda hai or snake bhi zinda hai.
Poetic.
Really, poetic,
I must say.
seriously.
But of course, Shah Rukh Khan and Salman Khan are going to be coming back together, yes, in a film. And this is happening after Tiger 3 and Pathaan, Suchi.
Salman Khan also announces the sequel to Bajrangi Bhaijaan.
Ah, nice.
The fact that was Bajrangi Bhaijaan.
Bajrangi.
Is who?
Hanumanji.
So now the sequel will also have what? Who?
Hanumanji.
Correct. What is the other name for Hanumanji?
Pavan
Putra Hanuman. So it is going to be Pavan
Nice.
Putra Bhaijan. Wow,
Nice.
yaar. I mean, amazing title.
So Salman Khan is going to star in the sequel to No Entry. And guess what the name of the film is? It's extremely original.
What?
It's called No Entry, May Entry.
No entry में entry कैसे होता है? Because of Pavan Putra Bhaijan. They fly in. Therefore, they don't have to enter in. They fly. Sorry, I just couldn't help that. It had to do with Salman Khan. Really.
So Suchi, are you excited? Are you excited, Suchi?
Say it again.
Are we there yet?
No. Say it again. Are you excited?
Are you excited?
Yes, I'm excited.
Okay, very good. Do you know why?
Why?
Because you have a very special person coming on the show today.
I know.
Here with Sudhi and Suchi.
Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Here It Here with Sudhi and
Suchi!
Wow,
I
wow,
brought the vibrato in the voice primarily.
amazing.
because of-
Sudhi,
oh my
absolutely
God.
amazing.
Did you realize?
that your talent, like, the cup of your talent overfloweth,
I
But
know, man.
speaking
My screen just cracked.
Yeah, I know.
speaking of cup of talent
So did
overfloweth.
mine actually, Vivek, but yeah, that's another trip.
Arey, don't say Vivek because I'm introducing him.
Sorry.
Anyway, now that you all know that who's coming up, this person who we are going to introduce you to today on today's show is somebody who I love dearly. I've known for a while. And of course, his cup of talent most definitely overfloweth no matter what he touches, no matter what he does. Please, आप आनंद लीजिए क्योंकि हमारे साथ है विवेकानंद ओबेरॉय.
La 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 la.
Thank you.
We are of course in extremely elite company, and we shall be earpod. And of course, we are going to be getting an inside edge on this gentleman.
Oh, yeah, you had to say that.
Sorry,
Now,
I
you
Sudhi,
had
you were
to
like,
I'm
say
so
that, yeah.
sorry.
You were
Oh,
totally,
oh,
you're
yeah.
totally, I don't know, you're totally reminding me of Shashi Tharoor right now.
Oh my
Ayyo,
God.
In that
when did
space,
they
bro.
Really?
Oh, no, that is because
with
Vivek,
the
you are
whole,
sitting.
with the whole British lower lip thing
As-
going
Yeah, yes,
on
yeah.
there.
Lower lip and upper lip, stiff upper lip. Darling,
I'm
and
still
Vivek.
quivering. I'm still
Yeah.
quivering, you know.
No, quivering lip is Urmila. Okay,
Oh,
Matondkar,
acha,
please.
sorry.
Okay, that is not Shashi Tharoor. Okay, yeah. So,
They're
Vivek,
both from
I
the
know.
same political party. Hmm.
So, I know that you are thinking Shashi Tharoor and all because you are right now in God's own country in Kerala.
Yes.
Welcome to
yes.
Hear It Here with Sudhi and Suchi, our little show which kind of tries to get an insight into the person behind the person that we see on screen. But starting off with, of course, what everyone is talking about right now is the new, Inside Edge, which has come out. And what's it been like? I mean, what's it been like, the way people have accepted it, and what was it like for you?
Oh, it's a trip, yeah. Suchi, I mean, I've loved doing this show because it kind of means a lot to me for reasons other than the success of it. When I started with Inside Edge, I was the first mainstream actor to jump onto the OTT scene,
OTT,
right?
That's right.
And one thing that we all get a lot in India and absolutely free is advice. So a lot of people came to me with advice saying, "What are you doing? What's wrong with you, man? How can you be doing OTT? And what is this Amazon Prime Video and nonsense like that?"
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when it became the rage it did, and then winning an Emmy nomination, I won a bunch of awards myself for my performance as Vikrant Dhawan. Then a lot of people said, Maverick, ahead of the curve, very smart, very nice, all of that. So for me, it was a big validation. Yeah, it was a big validation of going out on that limb, going out, and saying that, nahi yaar, I'll go with this intuitively and not in terms of ticking boxes. And I just loved it since. Of course, season 2 and then eventually season 3 got me seriously panicked because I was like, oh God, ek to season 3 itne time ke baad aa raha hai. कैसे लोग इसको receive करेंगे इतनी सारी चीजें आ चुकी हैं.
I loved it.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah.
But it was tough, man, because when you see it, like you realize that the character is kind of he walks a very thin line, yeah.
Yeah.
And when Karan Anshuman and I were working on building this character in the first season only, I was always worried about this. I was like, shit, man, it has to be like almost overacting, but not, right?
Not.
Because he's always designed, he's always
Also-
played up. Yeah.
Also, Vivek, the fact that, I mean, you were dealing with something which is, to be honest, very, very crucial. I mean, you're dealing with cricket. So you're dealing with a sentiment almost in terms of a country, and you're representing a character which is kind of taking it to a level where, it's almost like a religion which is you're assaulting in a way when you're talking about the premise of betting and
I
all
have
of
no
that
idea
happening.
what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
I have no idea what you're talking about. No, no, but I get where you're coming from, man. For me, I've been a big cricket bhakt,
Exactly.
Team India bhakt, myself, Bleed in Blue and all of that.
Yeah.
And then when the research came to me, because I had to research it because he's the one running the whole bookies racket. When I went through that, there was actually a point where I told Karan Anshuman, I was like, "Abbas, or nahi saha ja sakta."
और नहीं हो
I
सकता.
was like,
Oh.
I can't read anymore. I don't want to know anymore. I want to be ignorantly blissful, because it was tearing that veneer up too much for me. The business side of cricket was coming out too much for me, and that was a tough one. So I get it. But then again, ये सारी घटनाएं और पात्र काल्पनिक हैं.
मेरे तो यहाँ पे रीढ़ की हड्डी कांप गई है सुन के, कमाल हो गई.
तुम्हारी रीढ़ की हड्डी में थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम है ही, सुडी.
नहीं, वो उसके बारे में बाद में बात करेंगे. मेरे को वैसे भी जुकाम हुआ पड़ा है इस वक्त.
Okay, let's get a bit outside from the Inside Edge. And right now you're in Kerala and you're shooting a South film, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct, Vivek?
I'm shooting a Malayalam film called Kadua.
Ayyo, ende mone. The sign Malayalis. Oh, Kadula.
The only thing I can contribute to this by saying simply beautiful. Simply
beautiful. Is this the one with Prithvi?
Yeah, this is the one with Raju. Yeah. So we decided to team up again after the success of Lucifer. It's so funny because this has been it's one of those times for me where the entire backlog of everything that I've been writing, producing, signed up for as an actor it's all coming out now back to back, right? So I'm shooting
Which
2
is good.
shows and 4.
It's fabulous.
Yeah, I'm shooting 2 shows, to shooting 4 films. So it's been a busy year. And in the midst of all that, Raju calls me up and says, bro, you have to listen to this story. And then we caught up in Dubai, all of us, Priyanka, myself, Prithviraj and his wife, Supriya. We caught up in Dubai and we discussed the character. And I was like, you know what you've done, right?
Yeah.
It's only 26 days. Figure it out. I was like, okay, I'm figuring it out. Here I am.
That's fabulous.
So
but actually, Vivek, let's kind of go back, right? I mean, I was reading up, of course, the fact that you've done a master's in acting, which was from NYU, but you got actually noticed in a workshop in London. You studied in Mayo. You get to London, you're doing a workshop, and then from there you go to NYU for an acting course, which is fabulous. That was an interesting journey. Would you please tippani karenge thodi si ispe? Please thodi si.
Yeah, my life has always been serendipitous, right? So dating this chick, trying to get into her good books. That's what
euphemism that you want to use.
Good books.
That's a good
right.
one. Yeah. Okay.
So at that point, she was casting for an ad film that was being made, and she was one guy who was supposed to come in and audition. She was one guy short. So I waltzed in like the knight in shining armor and said, "Baby, I got your back." And I didn't anticipate that they would like me and say, yeah, he's the guy. We want him. Let's go.
Wow.
And that's how things started rolling. And I landed up in New York, shooting for New York Lotto, which is a big lottery story. Then I shot for Boucheron, which was a phenomenal campaign. The perfume company and fashion and lifestyle company. So stuff like that started rolling. And then my dream was to study at NYU. And I got in. I had this epic audition. Because I had missed the date. It wasn't a planned thing. And then I just begged them. I said, look, can the council give me one chance? Give me one audition. And if I'm crap, throw me out. And it was a fun audition. Actually, I still remember what I did. I did it to impress them. I asked the gentleman who was in charge. His name was Robert. And I said, Robert, what's the first line of your address? And he gave me the first line of his address. And then I did something in Sanskrit that said Shringaro Hasya Karuna Raudra Veer Bhayanaka Bhivats Adbhut Sangyo Chaitya Ashto Natya Prabha. And all the Goras were looking at me like, Ye kya bola bhai? And I was like, these are the Navrasas, then I spoke about Natya Shastra and Bharat Muni.
Beautiful.
Gave them the whole India spiel.
Yeah.
Then I said, now I will take that one line of your address and I will do it in each one of the Navrasas. So I did it in 9 different rasas. And I said, now it's not dialogue, it's not language, it's just expression. And that's it. Admit.
Well done.
Hey, man, but that's brilliantly creative, I say. Yeah.
I swear to God, if there was one completely like out of the box kind of audition, this was definitely it, man.
True,
well done.
true.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah.
But saying which, Vivek, I mean, coming from a family, of course, with Sureshji, already in there in the industry and, having created such a big name for himself, that must, while growing up, that must have always been a dream, right? Knowing that you wanted to do acting, or was there always another thing that you wanted to do?
No, it started out with many things. Yeah, my first ambition was to be a bus conductor.
That's right up
and
there.
then you thought, agar main bus conductor ban jaun, so I can be like Rajnikant. Maybe that will happen.
Well, maybe it was subliminal, but I don't think I knew at that time that Rajnikant used to be a bus conductor.
I'm still befuddled.
Yeah. So let me explain.
Astronaut, bus conductor. Sorry, I was just trying to. Yeah.
So I think the bus conductor came from this glamour, right? When I used to go back home in the school bus and I used to see this guy standing on the steps with the wind blowing in his hair. And I thought, shit, he gets to stand on the steps. I don't get to stand on the steps because I think I was even 5 or 6 years old. And I was like, this is so cool. And then I used to love the fact that he would just pull a string, like almost out of the air. He would pull a string and then music would emanate. Tang tang would happen from somewhere. I was like, ye kya kar raha hai yaar? So I was fascinated with that. I used to observe it till one day I discovered that the bloody string goes all the way to the front. Till the driver cabin, and there used to be that little round, bell. So that was a short-lived fascination. And then I discovered someone in my mother's side of family passed away. And then I wanted to be the guy who invented the cure of all diseases. I wanted to be the scientist. That stayed with me for a while. I was pretty noble with that. And then accidentally bumped into acting and said, I love this. Because dad for us, his work life was very insulated from the family life.
Okay.
Mom was paranoid in those days ki hi filmi bacche padhte nahi hai, and we come from seriously academic families, right? Like my mom's side, my dad's side, all bloody overachievers, IITians and neurosurgeons, and my buddy Buaji was like the first lady dean of Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore.
Fabulous.
So like all of that gray matter in there, and she was like ki pata nahi family wale kya kahenge ki bacche ko 10th pass bhi nahi karwaya types. You know, she had this very, very scared perception ki film wale na, they drop out of school, education bhi puri nahi karte hain, and she was full of all these horror stories, my mom. So she was very focused on keeping us away from the whole filmy crowd, and we didn't really do filmy parties. We didn't really have too many filmy friends until I was in my teens, and then made them myself. So it was not like we were part of some film milieu or clique. We always had an insulated life.
But it would be nice though, Vivek, for you to kind of, maybe go watch cinema, especially when your dad's on screen, and all those little memories would have been beautiful. I mean, you would probably still cherish them if at all.
I don't know, man. I was more into back in the day. I was more into watching sports, playing sports. I wanted to be a national level athlete. I was in the Maharashtra top. I think I was seeded 7 under the under 12 category.
What did you play?
I used to go baddie. I used to go
badminton.
compete.
Okay, nice.
Baddie, rollerblading, all those things were what used to excite me at that time. And I think acting, etc., developed as a fascination properly. I mean, I was always doing speech and drama. I was doing Trinity College of London and correspondence.
Yes.
I was doing all of this stuff. That set the base. For me, it was the same thing, whether it's theater or debating or speech. It was all one menu. It was never ki mujhe film industry mein jaake actor banna.
Fair enough.
That realization happened at a later age. I remember a very crystal conversation with my dad. I think I was 12 or 13 years old. And I said, I think I want to be an actor. And he was like, oh, well, great. It's good that you know what you want to be. But he only told me one thing. He said, it's good to desire, but it's important to deserve what you desire.
Nice.
Nice.
And that stayed with me. I was like, how do I deserve what I desire? And then I started working on myself. I said, okay, I think I need to learn different things. And that was the process of wanting to be an actor.
Yeah, and that's something which, I've realized.
And speaking
Suchi,
of the process, I mean, sorry, Sudhi.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
No, sorry for cutting you. No, I just said, speaking of the process of where you reached up, Vivek, I mean, having got the right opportunities.
I was just going to say to you, Suchi, that hold the pose, because that's what happened. You froze for a second, and it was beautiful. But carry on.
I'm not. I was just sitting in the same position.
I thought it much.
Keep quiet. I'm talking to you. No, but working with all of these fantastic directors, you've seen from the time you started to where you are at now. You've gone through quite a journey when it comes to working with the best. What have you learned from the various from these various directors? Through your journey, what have you learned? Like how you said you've learned one thing from your dad. What have you learned from them?
Well, I've learned so much. I mean, with Ram Gopal Varma, the one thing I learned was he used to do this thing which was very, very surprising for me as an actor, where he would come in, because I'd worked as an assistant in the film industry. I'd seen other sets, I'd seen other directors, I'd seen other actors.
You've been writing scripts as well earlier, right?
Yeah, I was writing scripts back then, and working as an AD across many, many different departments. But with Ram Gopal Varma, what I loved was he would create an environment. And if he trusted an actor, he would just come in and say, what do you feel like doing here with this scene?
Nice.
And I would just walk around the space and say, maybe I want to do this, and he'd just be watching. And then he'd call Hemant, the DOP, and go like, I want one shot here, I want this, I want that, I want that. So it wasn't like he was pre-planned and said, you played my tune. It was always like, okay, let me grab from you. And that's what kept him he decided the language, but the freshness of ideas, the freshness of performances all came from the fact that he was so open and collaborative. He was always receptive. And I loved that about him.
Yeah.
I remember my first day of shooting Company. and somebody had already been sacked, right, and replaced. And I had just heard this news. My first day, and I hear this news that some actor has already been sacked and replaced. I was like, and then I'm there. And this has come to me after a year and a half of struggling and knocking doors and auditioning and all of that, right? So I've got company after that. Now I'm on set. I'm shooting my first ever scene with the Ajay Devgan. And, it's that scene where he turns around and says to me, and says, Ki, kaam karega main le. And I give him attitude, say, usi ke liye to aaya hoon. And, all of that whole attitude going on. So I'm doing my bit and I'm rehearsed and I think I'm in my space. He's coming and he's whispering. Ram Gopal Varma was whispering something in Ajay's ears. Then he's going back. Then he's coming and he's whispering something in somebody else's ears. Then he's going back. Then Akash Khurrana's ears. Then he's going back. I'm like, dude, why is he talking to everybody but me? Yeah. He's not talking to me. By lunch break, I was convinced. Tera pack up hai beta. I was like, you're out of this film. It's finished. Somebody else has been sacked. Next is you. And then I was standing, literally like a movie scene. We were standing, we were shooting next to the seashore in Warsaw. Suchi, that place where you turn right for Yari Road? On the shooting there. So I was looking amidst the smell of drying fish. I was looking out at the ocean. And suddenly I hear a voice from behind, like a movie moment. It's Ram Gopal Varma telling me, if I don't like what you're doing, I'll tell you. If I don't tell you anything, it means I like what you're doing. And he walks away.
Nice one. Nice one.
So that's an epic moment. Mani Ratnam. I remember working with Mani Ratnam, and that was an incredible experience too. I remember there was a scene where there was a lot of lines, and we were doing it. And he said, took the scene paper away from me. And he said, what if I took all these dialogues away? And I said, what do you mean? He said, surprise me.
Wow.
Do this whole dialogue in an expression. And we did that in Yuva. There was a moment in Yuva when that happened. And I did that. And then he came and he gave me a hug and he was like, awesome. Love it. Come on. A lot of time,
Vivek, one has noticed that about you. You do, in the work that you do, a lot comes from your face. I mean, for an actor, of course, it has to. Yeah, but to be able to, to say a lot either through the eyes or just, with an expression and not words. I think that's a major one for you, if I'm not mistaken, when it comes to all of your work and all the work that you've done up to now. And
absolutely,
it has to,
absolutely.
Yeah. Because as you have said before, I mean, earlier on in the movies, if you had to say the word Badla, it was like that. But
Suchi, can you do that again? Because I want to use that.
Yeah,
I want to use that with one of the neighbors who's not returned something. Do that again.
So then you say Badla.
Perfect. I think I get my shit back now.
But now it's Vivek is going to show us how you can say it just very calmly. Vivek, now your turn.
In the Navrasas.
No. Just one rasa is enough. Yeah.
What's interesting, Suchi, is that before I ever did this, who inspired me to play Vikrant Dhawan, right?
Tell us.
The whole character that I played, my embodiment of Vikrant Dhawan was my dad in 1981, a film called Shraddhanjali. That he did with Rakhi Gulzar.
Rakhi, yes,
and
of course.
After I came back from New York, after my whole foreign education, I came back and for the heck of it, I was watching my dad's movies and I watched Shraddhanjali. I was blown. I went up to him and I said, dude, what have you done in this, man? This is amazing.
Yeah.
And he was like, why? I was like, in 1981 to be this progressive, where villains are going, and there's this guy out there who's just smiling and he's villain. And he says, because he's not the villain of his own story. And that stuck with me, I was like, yeah, man, that's the right way to play a negative character. He's not the villain of his own story. So Vikrant Dhawan, he's the hero of his own film.
Yeah.
He's right. He's doing everything right. I mean, he doesn't have that moral compass. So how will he imagine, what your morality is and, what your ideas are? So for him, it's very simple.
I remember Parinda, Vivek, as far as Parinda was concerned, I remember the way he essayed that character was again something which was
Abdul.
Yeah. And I was like, I was blown away. I saw the film the other day very recently and I was like, wow, that is so true to what his entire understanding of that particular character in his head was probably. And
what was brilliant about, and I remember that film so well, because that was one of the shoots that I actually went to, and I saw Jagu Dada and I saw Anil sir for the first time. I met Vinod sir when he was shooting there. So it was an amazing experience. You know what was amazing was my dad, he asked a question during that narration. He said that, जब वो गला नहीं काटता तो क्या करता है? No, when he's not killing people, what does he do?
What is he doing?
He said, I don't know. And he said, बांसुरी बजाता है. And then from that came a dialogue कि अब्दुल जितनी सफाई से गला काटता है उतनी सफाई से बांसुरी बजाता है. Correct. Yeah. And
Nice
to
one.
imagine, for an actor to imagine a guy just playing the flute calmly, you know.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it's like Hari Prasad Chaurasia going
and slashing somebody.
Slashing
someone.
But it's amazing, Vivek. Actually, to come to think of it, what Suchi just pointed out, you have been a very progressive actor. I mean, right from the days of Company, and as you've evolved. I mean, I loved Satya. I thought a lot of stuff. Then, of course, Inside Edge and all of that has happened.
Shootout,
yeah, Shootout. But there was a time when do you believe that maybe the general overall audience was not maybe ready for that sort of an evolved actor, and they wanted to see a little more of, Badla and no, actually that was my hernia, but we'll talk about that later.
No, we won't.
Okay, fair enough. But but did you feel that there was a slight break in the middle, or a hiatus, call it whatever it was, that kind of work?
There was a lot of things, man. I think there was a time in my life where the focus was not on talent or being an actor, but on too many other things, the paraphernalia. And that kind of always takes away from the art or the artist, right? The focus shifts from there. And that's probably what happened. But then it's up to you, right?
Sure.
Like I always believe. I remember when I went to meet Muthinda once. Just I don't know, I was promoting a film and he was the grandmaster on the set on one of the game shows, and I went on this reality show, I think DID, and Mithunda was sitting in his van and he called me. So I sat in his van with him, gave me a hug, and then he said, I just want to tell you one thing. And I was like, what? And he said, you are the magician. And I said, what?
Nice.
He said, you are the magician. So I said,
nice.
What does that mean? He said, think about it. सोचो आप इसके बारे में. I said, नहीं दादा मैं समझा नहीं, मतलब क्या है इसका? He said, you are the magician. कोई और आके जादू नहीं करेगा, तुमको करना है.
Nice.
What do you want your life to be? You got to do it. You are the magician. And that really gave me a lot of clarity, man. There was an epiphany for me there. And I was like, nahi, I am the magician. Now screw it. I'm not going to talk about ye ho gaya, wo ho gaya. Issue hai na hai, theek hai. I mean, next what? So move on forward. So that kind of empowered me a lot to be able to achieve the place that I'm at right now, where I'm writing, producing, acting, enjoying myself, really enjoying the artistic.
You're glowing, man. Honestly, Vivek, you're glowing. Trust me, you are. There's this beautiful energy about you right now.
That is all the coconut oil from Kerala where he is right now, you see.
Very true.
No, but Vivek, I mean, another thing about your life when you're as you said, you're just overflowing with stuff. Another aspect of your life which makes you feel really positive are your kids, right? We've heard that they are your go-to people when things get bad, right? How do they help you out?
So I don't know if things get bad, things get heavy sometimes, right?
Heavy, yes.
Maybe you're stressed or whatever it is.
Yeah. Or just like an intense role, like a Vikrant Dhawan, for example, takes a lot out of you. There's a lot of energy.
Yeah,
true.
And somewhere,
all
like
the
you were
time,
saying earlier, that I like to speak with the eyes, and I believe that the eyes don't speak until you feel it. So it's all that hate, all that vengeance, all that anger that you have to generate inside here, and then it reflects out there. But at the end of it, you feel heavy with all of it.
True.
So I've had issues with processing that out or detoxing that from my system in the past. But ever since my kids, they're my natural reset button, man. They're the perfect antidote. So I just do a call or a video call or a chit chat with them about some random stuff. And it's really, really cool. Like I was just talking to my son today and he was telling me about this process in his school where they said that what if you were to create your own country? And he had a population of 100 people. And he was saying, Dada, I think I want to keep 20 out of the 100 at least for healthcare workers, doctors, and nurses, because I don't want people in my country to be sick.
Nice.
And that was such a cool thing to hear, you know.
Yeah.
It kind of reassures myself and Priyanka that we're doing things right, you know.
Right, correct.
So it's a natural reset button. It takes me back to the core of who I am. It centers me.
How old is he now, Vivek? How old is
my
he?
son is 8, my daughter's 6.
Fabulous, man. An 8-year-old talking about healthcare and
that's amazing.
And the balance in terms of a country and things like that. It's quite amazing.
But you know, Sudhi, but that touchwood that comes from you, Vivek, because I mean, we know how you had adopted that whole the village thing as well.
Yeah,
right?
and you won a bravery award for the same in 2006.
So have they? I mean, do you intend to instill all of these? I mean, does it just come naturally, or you make sure that your kids actually, know that they should do good for, be it for the country or for other people, or do you think it's just coming naturally to this generation?
I don't know. I think it's a mix of both. I think it's somewhere it's in there, but sometimes you just need somebody to spark that thought, to give it some direction.
I agree.
Mine happened because of my mom.
Yes.
My mom was doing so much work with cancer patients in palliative care, people in their last stages. And I used to see how she used to do little things like make their favorite dish and go to hospital and feed them, or read a book to them, or just play them the songs that they like, because they know they're leaving, they're going. And you know what happens is it's a very strange process. When you know you are not going to survive it, and your family also knows, but you don't know exactly how many days you have, right? It could be 2 days, it could be 20, it could be two years.
Yeah.
And you're in a hospital, and the life of the family has to move on.
Yep.
The life of the family has to move on. They have to go, they have to work, they have to earn the bread, they have to pay the bills, they have to go to school. They can't just keep waiting endlessly for you to pass on. And that's a very weird, suspension almost that people feel, it's like this weird space. And in that space to enter, my mom did that relentlessly for almost 35 years. And I saw that growing up and appreciated that. To me, she was always a hero, right? I was always wondering, how are you able to do this? And when I went through a personal, really difficult time personally, I was going through a whole upheaval, personally, professionally, too much was happening. And there was a whole why me, almost victim story going on, right? Feeling totally victimized at that point. And my mom sparked it for me, man. She took me to the cancer hospital, and I walked into a ward full of beautiful kids who were, bald, going through chemotherapy, bloodshot red eyes, fighting cancer. And two things I learned that day. One was my problems are nothing.
Nothing.
A 7-year-old trying to deal with cancer. What are my problems, man? They're nothing.
Yes.
And the second thing was that I'm so blessed that if I don't have to do anything. I just walk into a room and I can make these children smile. How blessed am I that I can just walk in there and they smile. That
beautiful.
He's come here. And I was like, shit, this is an amazing power. I need to channel this power. And that got me going. I was like, I need to use celebrity to make genuine impact. And that just got me started on that journey. And it's an essential part of my life.
Yeah, and it's something which I personally feel, Vivek, is so important at so many levels that it also keeps you very grounded. I mean, no matter what, it just keeps you very, very grounded and humbled all the time. And I think that's eventually the growth pattern of a human being. This is my thought. I don't know.
It's the best possible oxymoron because it keeps you grounded and yet it's the greatest high.
That's true. That's so true. Speaking of the greatest high, now a lot of people, are now after, even though OTT platforms are giving us actors so much more opportunity to do stuff and, getting us all recognized in ways that we weren't before. What is your take on this whole thing about upping and, trying to go to Hollywood or anything like that? Has there been opportunity for you, especially now that you're, visible
across the world, and you were one of the first few at the end of the day?
No, so there have been opportunities. I mean, there have been offers, there have been scripts sent my way, but nothing that made me feel like this is it and I want to do this, right? So I think the day I feel that, the day I feel like this is an awesome script and I just have to play this role, whether it's Hollywood or an Iranian film or a South Korean project. I don't care. For me, I've already done films in 7 languages, and I'm probably hungry for more.
You produced something. Sorry, I'm cutting you through, Vivek. But since you talked about the Asian aspect of cinema, you produced a film which was I think number 300 something in the all-time best in the Busan Film Festival, and that's a huge accolade.
Right. We won the best film of the year at Busan. That was a beautiful film called Dekh Indian Circus. Actually, Nawaz was just starting his career back then, and it's really exciting. It's great. I mean, life comes a full circle. I'm producing something again with Nawaz, which I think is a fabulous film. I think he'll do really well with it as an actor. So like I said, it's such a fun journey, man. Producing, creating, writing, really flowing with it. It's been an amazing journey.
What's the other one thing that we don't know? Now we know about the producing and the creating and the writing and the acting. What's one other thing about Vivek Oberoi we don't know? The a hobby that we don't know about? Kya aap bansuri bajate ho? Ya phir tabla bajate ho? What is it? What?
I think what surprises people is the amount of companies and businesses that I've built. So I'm a chief strategy officer for a number of companies. Some of them are listed companies. I design strategies for mergers, acquisitions, taking companies
nice,
taking them global, design paths to take companies IPO, identify them to take them public. Have done quite well with that too, and also a co-founder of a bunch of social for-profits that are doing quite well. Actually, the valuations of those have gone exponential. They're social impact for-profits. So
that's amazing, man.
Wow, that's
quite amazing.
I co-founded India's first startup and innovation university in Gujarat, and we now have 15 colleges in a 52-acre campus.
Wow,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
So as an actor, Vivek, do you think for us, because our job is so insecure sometimes, it's like me. I mean, I've got my hand in about 26 pies, not 5. So because if acting doesn't happen, then you've got comparing, then I've got dubbing, etc., etc. For any person coming into this industry, would you also tell them to definitely keep a plan B or just concentrate on plan A only?
I think you need some sort of financial security to be able to concentrate on plan A.
Yeah.
Now, if you're born with a silver spoon and you have it, that's one thing. Like I never took a penny from my dad since I was 15 years old.
Wow.
And for me, it was a very important thing to make sure that I'm financially stable. And when I went through my battles in this industry, which has given me so much, and I'm so eternally grateful to this industry, but I did go through my dark phase. Right? And during that time, one part of the whole alienation and boycott was not getting work, not making money, feeling like, oh gosh, where will my expenses come from? Where will my financial security come from?
Yeah.
And that kind of led me to branch out into building myself financial security, using what's in here to kind of strengthen the pocket a little bit, and that worked out well.
And it's done brilliantly. And of course, Suchi just talked about 26 pies. Vivek, that also has to do something with her eating disorder, which we have to talk about.
Don't tell him. Don't tell him.
Yeah, anyway, I was not going to go into that. But it's.
I eat eating disorder. Eating. I only order. That's the problem with me.
We know that. But
just shut up, Suchi. You never put on weight. You just
that's true, though.
Man, it's ridiculous.
But you ask them. I chew their head off. I chew their head off when I walk into a studio and there's no food. Yeah, if there's no food. They're all like
some weird metabolic situation she tweaked at an early age or something like that. Cell regeneration. I don't know what is it.
Yeah, it's some weird like that. It's some sci-fi shit for sure.
Yeah, and she does this on purpose. She freezes the moment you talk about stuff like this. She suddenly anyway. Yeah. So no, but of course, Vivek, this is something. This is something which is, I think, very important since you come from a background where you play sport and you've enjoyed it, you watch it, you do all of that. You talked about a little while back in terms of your children having that slight little spur, which will kind of egg them on into other aspects. So of course, yes, building societal aspects are very important. But how important do you think is the gift of sport to a child at an early age?
And he drops his head.
It was the mic drop moment, boys.
Yeah.
No, so yeah, I think sport is a really essential part of life, and it's not just your physical fitness. It's also about learning to be a part of a team, or learning focus, dedication, commitment. When I wanted to train in badminton, I started with wanting the fanciest Yonex Carbonex racket.
And
my mom bought me a Jonex, which was the J one, right? And she was like, "Pehle tum tournament jeeto, fir dekhenge," you know.
Correct.
My mom, being the conservative South Indian, jinse kharcha varcha nahi hota hai, sambhal ke rakhne wale. So she was like, "No, first you do this," and then that spurred me on, and then I played better, and then when I won with that Jonex. And I didn't expect that Yonex anymore. She gave it to me, and I remember I still have it actually. I still have my first competitive racket. I still have it safe and sound. So I played with that, and so those are the little things, the values of wanting to achieve, of wanting to compete. Sport teaches you a lot. Sport is a great nursery for life. You know, it kind of sets the mind beautifully on a lot of things that you have to deal with in life.
I remember, I mean, it's a similar story, Vivek, that you just talked about. I used to play football, and I played well for a decent level till I broke my leg about 3 times. And I remember the same thing, the football shoes. I wanted this Adidas, or उस time पे देश में Adidas, Nike और ये सब कुछ आया था नहीं. नहीं, पहला वो ही मिला मुझे. पहला वो मिला मुझे.
My first studs were Nivea studs.
Nivea
soles होते थे. और वो घिस जाते थे और घास पे तुम फिसलते खेलते थे. And then I remember the moment I made it to like
the Nivea plastic studs, yaar. Those plastic studs from Nivea.
वो तुम्हारे को पता नहीं, पहले मेरे को PVC सोल वाले मिले थे. And then finally when I made it to the state trial and situation, and that's when my dad said अच्छा बेटा अब ये ले. And I was like, वो अभी भी है मेरे पास, like you said, अभी भी है.
But Vivek, I know we've taken a hell of a lot of your time. But you know, it's been wonderful catching up with you. And before we let you go, I need you to say something in Malayalam, because you are in Kerala right now. That will make me extremely happy.
The most important thing that you have to learn to say is Pakshanam Kalicho.
Which essentially means, did Suchi eat her food?
Yeah, because of the eating order.
Yes.
Not disorder.
Oh yeah, it's eating order.
Normally Malayalis speak really fast.
Really quickly, yeah.
She's the opposite of a Malayali. She's like really slow. It's like just flowing slowly.
Am I now back? Am I back?
Yes, you're back now.
Okay.
Yes, you're back. Huh?
Yeah. So I said, say hi to Prithvi from me. We did a film called Cold Case recently, where I was very scary on that.
Well done, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. And so say hi to him from me. And Mone, Sugam Danne, everything.
Sugam Allah.
Everything is good for you in Kerala.
Thank you.
And of course, Vivek, wishing you all the love and all the happiness and all the positive energy.
Have a blast in Kerala.
Thank you. Thank you, my darling.
There we have it. Vivek Anand Oberoi on Hear It Here with Sudhi and
Suchi. So I was doing your little imitation of you freezing.
Are you serious? Because it was
and the bloody mic drop, man.
All right, guys. I gotta rush.
Bye, Vivek. Thank you.
You take care.
Bye. Lots of love. Bye.
Hear It Here with Sudhi and Suchi.
The person who's always in the news as far as Bollywood is concerned is Akshay Kumar. He never stops, Sudhi. He never stops.
I can't see you anymore. I'm blinded, Suchi.
Chameli. No, but we're talking about Akshay Kumar,
Huh.
because one is blinded by him, frankly speaking.
Correct.
Because he's everywhere all the time. You know, if a movie's not releasing, if it's over, he's doing promotions for the next film. If that's over, then he's actually shooting for another one. And
But
you
what
get
an
to see
amazing work ethic, I must say, man. Suchi,
No.
he's been working constantly for that long, huh?
यार काफी पैसे कमाए होंगे यार अक्षय कुमार.
129 crores apparently. You were
Wow.
telling me only.
Yeah,
That he
yeah.
charges now for a film.
Yes.
Of course, and
yes.
he's got an elephant's memory when it comes down to dialogues.
You know, I don't. Well, I heard this. I heard this. Abhishek Bachchan actually was asked about Akshay Kumar, and about him and how he chooses
Right.
his movies. And basically, he said no. He just chooses his movies after looking at the bank balance of the producer. That's then
But
he chooses
that's
movies.
fine. That's a
It
decent
works,
career
man.
path. Correct.
Of course it is. It works.
Exactly.
But Akshay Kumar, his career path has been something else, and it could have been something else. But the rivalry started off. Not rivalry. I wouldn't call it rivalry.
Competition?
It's competition. You know, there was a hell of a lot of competition.
Healthy.
Between Akshay Kumar, AK, and AD Ajay Devgan.
Ah, right.
Okay, so apparently 30 years ago, Full on Kate, when it was happening,
Huh.
Akshay Kumar was the first choice. Yeah, Cuckoo Kohli had chosen him.
I want you to just understand, if somebody says cuckoo every time, does he go?
No, he goes, Cuckoo.
Okay, fair
Hi,
enough.
I'm Cuckoo Kohli. Hi, I'm Cuckoo Kohli. Okay?
Sounds
So-
like a pregnant hen, but anyway, carry on.
How do you know what a pregnant hen sounds like? Keep quiet.
That-
So Cuckoo Kohli, anyway, had chosen. I wonder. You remember? I think I heard Ravina say that she was also being chosen for Phool Aur Kaate.
Ah, right, yeah.
And it was Akshay Ravina at that time.
Ah.
And then
The plot thickens, Suchi.
the plot melted down to
God damn it.
Madhu and Ajay Devgan.
Ah, right.
So anyway, the competition thing was happening since then. And Cuckoo Kohli, would you believe this? He was ready to shoot for the movie, Akshay Kumar, okay? And he was called the day before.
Off the shoot?
The day
No,
of the
apparently,
shoot or the day
I
before?
think it was off the day of the shoot. He was
See,
told that
he was
you
told,
don't need to
don't
come.
for the shoot. I mean, if that's
It's
not
heartbreaking,
rejection.
man.
Oh
It's
God.
heartbreaking.
And this is for somebody who used to be a chef in Bangkok. Yeah. And a martial arts teacher.
Correct,
This is Rajiv
yeah.
Bhatia we are talking about. Akshay,
Yeah.
AKA Akshay Kumar.
Correct.
Yeah. But to think that he started off like that, came here and struggled, you know, decided to be a martial arts teacher, which also got him a role in the film Aaj by Mahesh Bhatt. Okay.
Where he plays a
He
teacher.
plays a martial arts teacher,
Okay.
and he thought,
This has happened now,
happening.
yeah.
But actually, Kumar Gaurav was the hero of that film.
Whom he
Who-
was training.
No,
Acha, then.
he was training the heroine of the film.
Okay.
But Kumar Gaurav was in the film, and guess what his name was in that film, Aaj? His name was Akshay. Now
Oh,
things
man.
go round and round, but poor Akshay Kumar. At the end of it, when the movie was, you know,
Edited.
and they saw the edit, you could see Akshay Kumar's back.
My God, yeah, that's
That's it.
actually heartbreaking again.
No, seriously.
But
you know?
imagine the resilience of the man, yeah, Suchi. I mean, these
Yeah.
kind of rejections could actually have thrown anybody off their game.
Yeah, but then
this
he
guy
said,
continued.
I mean, he saw his back and he said, back to life, back to reality.
We apologize for
back.
that one.
Yeah,
Really
but
sorry.
yeah,
Close
but
your
you know,
ears. Yeah.
that was not you know, a dampener at all as far as Akshay Kumar was concerned. He went and he officially changed his name to Rajiv Bhatia, from Rajiv Bhatia to Akshay.
But why did he do that? Because he felt that maybe
the name
that
Rajiv Bhatia, I think,
is not very film or actor.
Yeah, I think.
This is, of course, all apologies to all the Rajiv Bhatias who are probably listening right now.
No, he just apparently, I don't think, you know, it had that zing
The
to
punch?
it. The punch to it. At least in that time when Akshay was, you know, introduced into Bollywood, it didn't have the punch to it, which is why he decided to call
go
himself
With Akshay.
I wonder if Twinkle calls him Rajiv or Akshay.
Oh, yeah, that's
Or
actually
Aki.
interesting.
But then again, I wonder, does
What
he
would he
call
be calling
Twinkle
her?
Tina or Twinkle? Point to be pondered upon. We'll think about that. See you.
Here with Sudhi and Suchi.